Guys, welcome to Onelife Podcast. Here with Kimberly, who is a meditation teacher, yoga instructor, and also a registered pharmacist?
Yes, yeah.
That's amazing. I'm very looking forward to talking to you. I want to jump straight into the pharmacy side of things.
Okay.
So most of us are unhealthy, most of us are overweight. Mm-hmm. In my interpretation, my impression, most of us are taking medicines that we don't need to be taking. We just took care of our health. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
100%.
And also, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll be 34 in March.
And you look amazing.
Oh, thanks.
You look healthy. You look very fit. You look way younger than 34.
Thanks.
And I mean, to me, age, like I'm 43, I think age is just a number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think most of us are just neglecting our health and taking drugs, masking things, not actually treating it. Like prevention being cure, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What can you kind of touch on that? I know there's a lot you could talk about.
Yeah.
What's the first things that kind of come to mind from being in that industry?
It's like the quick fix. You know, it's like, it's hard to work out every day and like eat healthy. It's just easier to just pop a pill. I talk to so many people that are like, what should I do? I'm like, lose weight, eat a little healthier. Like, you don't have to be crazy about it. But they're like, it's so hard. And it's just easy to, get a pill.
It's easy to just say it's so hard, right?
Yep.
And make zero accountability for yourself.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, that instant gratification, I mean, there's so many things I want to talk to you about. COVID, diabetes, literally just heartburn, indigestion, bloating, farting, gas, impotence. All this is like diet.
Oh yeah, most of it. And stress, I feel like. Stress and diet. Because I think it's 80% diet and like 20% exercise, you know? Because
I do too.
You don't have to be, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to walk around with a six pack. You don't have to be like, crazy shape. But like my balance is like 85% of the time I eat well, 15% of the time I dabble, I have my cake, I have my candy's my weakness. I don't know what yours is.
Yeah.
Cookies been yours. And you just got to make it important enough to keep that balance.
Yes, definitely.
So what are the things you're seeing firsthand that people don't need to be suffering from?
Definitely diabetes. I feel like
we're talking type 2, right?
Yeah, type 2, yeah. Because type 1's a different beast. That's more autoimmune.
Literally born with it, aren't you?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
And type 2 being like poor diet.
Yeah, usually. Yeah. Obesity.
Obesity being the huge one. You don't need to be obese, though, if you notice. There's a lot of people these days with type 2 diabetes who aren't obese.
Yep. Yeah, because like their sugars are always crazy high.
But they kind of got that greyhound body where they don't put weight on, but they're not healthy on the inside.
Yeah, yep.
And honestly, I think it's a blessing to actually put body fat on because it gives you a better indication that you are unhealthy.
Yeah, I know, because some people are just walking around in that, like, they're not fat, but they're not fit.
Imagine if you walked around the way you are, but you had type 2 diabetes or you're pre-diabetic and you didn't know because your body's not representing it. Mm-hmm. And none of us really go get blood work or get checked until
it's too late, usually.
Until we're sick, right?
Yeah. And a lot of doctors aren't good at reading blood work either.
Really?
Yeah. Like they kind of just look at it's in range, it's fine. Or if it's like a little bit, they're not good at diving in and seeing what's wrong either with the blood work.
I don't like to diss doctors, but most doctors and most nurses aren't necessarily healthy.
Nope.
And that kind of scares me more than anything.
And they're supposed to be the experts.
Yeah, and I mean, and they're also taught medicine and not prevention. Mm-hmm. You come in with heartburn, this is what you take and this is what you do.
Yeah, take Tums or whatever it is.
Yeah, but have you actually tried, if you touch on COVID, they say that 80% of people die from COVID were obese or elderly.
Yep.
And I saw a video about the other day, like they closed the gyms, they told you to put a mask on, cross your fingers, hope for the best. Mm-hmm.
They closed the parks.
Closed the parks, you couldn't do anything, right? Mm-hmm. Things that you probably should have been encouraged to do, were told not to do.
Yeah, they said the sunlight, which is like one of the best things you can do.
Yeah, being vitamin D, right? Mm-hmm. Did I get COVID? No.
Yeah.
I take cold showers the last 6 years. I eat clean. I fast. I exercise. Mm-hmm. Did COVID touch me? No.
Yeah, and me and my husband either. We really didn't get sick.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. But if you got poor immune system and you're functioning on a poor basis, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, you're just setting yourself up to fail. It's
kind of like the survival of the fittest, right? Like I make myself healthy so I can survive and live longer. Mm-hmm. But I don't think people get it.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. And I don't think they realize like how serious it is. Because it's like, you're going to pay for it later. You're either going to pay for it now or you're going to pay for it later.
That's the thing, right? Those little decisions, those little healthy decisions. I was talking to a friend the other day. We were talking about like when you go to a pharmacy, it's all stuff that it's just a band-aid to mask things that you probably don't need to go through.
Because there's really there's not like a lot of cures in, I mean, there are some cures in medicine, but there's not a lot. It's mostly side effects.
That's an interesting point. There's no cures
really,
in
we really
medicine.
haven't cured a lot of stuff.
We're just learning to, prolong
like,
it or
like
mask it.
Symptoms.
Mask the symptoms being huge. That's I never thought about that.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Because I thought about a pharmacy in Australia or here, it's like knee braces for inflamed knees, which comes from poor diet, being overweight, excess pressure, like I said, heartburn, indigestion, constipation, diarrhea. It's all...
Oh, yeah. It's all food, a lot of it.
It's all food, right? And it goes back to like that food is medicine. I'm a huge believer that the better you eat, the better you feel, the better you function.
Yeah.
And when I've dieted, and I've been dieting for 3-4 months, eating 100% clean, I never felt better.
Yeah.
I don't burp. I don't get indigestion. I don't get bloating. You just function.
You sleep better.
You just function and feel amazing, right?
Yep.
And what kind of scares me is like you get a child who gets overweight now. I think it's like 20% of kids are overweight or obese. 1 in 3 kids by the age of 20 are going to have diabetes. Some crazy stats.
That's crazy.
And these kids are never going to know what it actually feels like to be healthy.
Yeah. And most of them will never go back. Like they'll just always be unhealthy for their whole
that's
life.
exactly what I'm getting at, right? Like at least you and I, if we put weight on in our 20s or 30s, at least when we're young, we had health. We know what it felt like to feel good.
Yeah.
But kids these days aren't even going to get the chance to actually feel like that.
Yeah, never. They'll always feel like crap.
Yeah, but that's the norm. That's what they think is normal and acceptable.
Like I've always felt like this, like, you know.
Yeah, and you probably see it like at pharmacies when you're working, people will just tolerate this stuff, right?
Yep. And then it's like you start on one medication and then you have side effects. And now you need another medication for that one. And then now you need another medication. It's like this slippery slope you go on.
And all of a sudden, like you said,
you're on 30 drugs.
30 drugs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's ridiculously expensive.
Yep.
And 8 out of 10 of us live paycheck to paycheck. So we're all broke.
Yeah.
And then we're broker because we're taking drugs. And then you can argue from the point where does the government, do people want us healthy? What's your thoughts on that?
I would say they don't. Because they don't preach any like health. They don't preach like go outside, get sunlight, you know, exercise or eat healthier, even just one less soda a day, something like that, you know. And
what I'm getting at is there's more money in keeping people sick.
Exactly.
I mean, does CVS want people healthy?
No.
If I was CVS,
I wouldn't have a job.
Yeah, if I was CVS, I wouldn't want people healthy. I want people taking a pill a day for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And then getting up to 30 pills.
Yep.
Because then they're relying on it to survive and live, and we're making a fortune off that person.
I think the doctors are the same way. Like, the doctors don't make any money off of healthy patients.
That's another good point.
Because like you don't go to the doctor really.
It's kind of messed up, isn't it?
Kind of.
It's really disturbing.
Yeah, it's like healthcare it's like sick care. I love that term now. It's sick care. It's not healthcare.
After living in Australia and now living in America, I find America really a lot worse.
Is it worse?
It's like Australia's always we're the small brother of America. We definitely follow what America does, but America's really bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, last time I was in hospital, I remember looking around thinking, at least half these people probably don't need to be here. That's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be an asshole or be rude. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah. What else can you kind of tell from the pharmacy side of things? What can you tell me?
I'm trying to think what else.
Would you encourage that just like, if someone is taking a lot of pills or someone is not feeling the best, what's from your point of view? Where do they start?
I feel like they probably should find a more holistic doctor, or if they can find a pharmacist they can like sit down with. Some pharmacies do it's called MTM, medication therapy management. And like a pharmacist will look at every single drug you're on and see, because a lot of times there's polypharmacy. So you're on 3 different medications for your diabetes or cholesterol. It's like, you shouldn't be on that many. We should like scale it back and just try. I mean, if you need it, try one and then.
Why are they taking so much?
Part of it is the doctors overprescribe. Really? I think it's like lack of education. So what they should do is you get put on like a cholesterol medication. you should pretty much max that out before you add a second. But a lot of doctors don't see a result right away. So they're like, another drug.
Gotcha.
They want like faster results.
They stack it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gotcha. How long generally should you be taking something before you think about upping the dosage or adding something?
It depends on the medication, but typically at least 6 weeks-ish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's a while.
So probably not many people are doing that.
No. And usually it's like they want it like right away. It's like 2 weeks, like, what? I need a result. Like,
I spent 20 years eating crap and not exercising. Now,
and then it's like right away.
In a week I want it going away, but
exactly.
I'm not willing to put 6 weeks in.
Yep, exactly.
That's what you're getting at, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's kind of crazy.
That's nuts. As far as like, what came first, meditation or the yoga?
The yoga.
The yoga. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about yoga. I'm a huge believer that yoga is really good for you.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I just got certified this year, so I'm like a new baby instructor.
But you mentioned like you've done it for 10 years.
Yeah, I've been doing it for like about 10 years. Usually I would go to like other classes or I'd hire like private, which I love to do like private one-on-ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that really beneficial?
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
What's it like? I've done a lot of private stuff with martial arts, boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. But I can imagine it'd be just as beneficial as a private yoga.
And they tailor it to you. And it's more like, I mean, you can go as spiritual as you want, or you can like, don't do any spiritual. Like, well, I had one instructor, she would tell me like the stories, you know, of like how it was like, how yoga came to be. Because it's been around for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
Did you find you progressed a lot more having the private?
Yeah.
What type of stuff was it that they were showing you?
She got me to do like headstands and stuff, which I could never do before.
Really? Because I guess you got a spotter too, right?
Yep. Yeah. And then like the form. Because when you're in a big class, you know, some of the classes are 60 people in them. The instructor can't help you
That's why I love private stuff.
Yeah. Because then they can really, and if you're in a weird position, you know, they can like tweak, or they can like bring you like a bolster or like a block, you know, if you need it. Like in a big class, they can't do that.
And they can kind of push you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because they know you.
I love that. I never thought about that. Because,
I mean, it's super expensive, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, like with martial arts, hey, just that elbow a little bit tighter. Your feet, they would pick particular things.
Yep.
But then once you've got it forever.
Yeah.
And then you can progress. But I always tell people this. It might take you a month or 2 months to learn that one thing that they just identify instantly. Mm-hmm. In a group with 60 people, that's not identified straight away.
You just can't. Because like there's just too many people.
Yeah.
They can't, you know, physically do that.
That's crazy. Out of yoga, what's the things that you've got the most? Like personally,
I feel like I love like the spiritual aspect, and I like the mental.
What's the spiritual aspect of yoga?
It's kind of like just like be at peace with yourself. I mean, it's kind of like woo woo and.
Like you feel a little bit more like settled.
Yeah, like settled, and because I have a very anxious personality. So it's kind of helped me like relax a little bit more. I mean, I still have it, but it's helped.
Would you recommend that for people suffering with like anxiety and things?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think yoga and meditation are like super good for that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about yoga. I'm only just getting to the meditation.
Yeah, I think they kind of go hand in hand too, I think.
I've kind of heard that. I haven't met someone who does meditation who doesn't really do yoga and vice versa.
Yeah, they kind of go, yeah. And a lot of times you'll end yoga session with meditation at the end.
Okay.
Like Savasana was kind of like a meditation. You lay there and just like, it's like quiet, you know, they put on music and it's dark. It's like a meditation.
Okay. Interesting. And then from teaching, what do you like about it?
I love like connecting with people and like teaching them like new things and just like, like the connection I think I like.
Do you, are you talking like diet, health, other things with people?
A little bit, like if they want to.
I mean, not everyone's coming in looking like you, right?
No.
But I mean, like you do get overweight and unhealthy people. Like
yoga. Which I mean, I feel like any size can do yoga.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can start where you're at, you know.
Yeah,
like,
working at your level.
You don't need to do headstands and stuff like that crap. Like, or the back bends. Like, you don't have to do that to do yoga.
But I mean, it's a good goal to build up to.
Yeah.
Do you, it's kind of like, what am I getting at? Trying to lead by example. Like, I mean, you get someone who's overweight. Do you try to be more like like a lot of people talk about like life coaching. Mm-hmm. Do you try to do more of that than just like a yoga instructor? Or
I've thought, like, I don't really do that, but I've thought about getting more into that.
Do you find yourself doing that without realizing you're doing that?
Yeah, and I do with my friends too. Like, I'll just be like, oh, I saw this article, and like we'll talk like health stuff. Yeah, I actually love like doing that kind of stuff, like teaching people about health and
more the all-rounder thing, right? Yeah, like the mentality, like you talked about.
They all go together. I mean, right?
That's honestly, if I could say anything consistently coming up with like my fitness guests, it's that lifestyle coaching. It's like the mentality, the eating right, the exercising, building daily habits.
Because I don't think you can't be super healthy if you're eating McDonald's every day.
Or if you've got a limiting mindset, right? Or not out running the fork, out training a bad diet. But then if you are eating clean but you're not exercising, you're losing the heart health.
Yep.
It's this whole rounded
it's
thing.
like it's all like connected, really.
Yeah. Have you got like consistent daily good habits that?
I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm pretty good.
But I mean, I
would say I'm 80-ish%. I'm like pretty good. Like eat healthy, try and work out, at least do something. Like lift a couple weights. Or we have like a little baby home gym in our house. Yeah, so I try to do the elliptical for like 15 minutes.
And you don't need to go to the gym and lift weights, right?
No,
obviously yoga's your thing. Yep. Yoga's your jam.
Which you could do that anywhere. There's like standing yoga sessions that you could do.
And you got a phone and YouTube with...
Yep. YouTube is amazing for free
for
yoga.
Anything, right?
Oh yeah, for pretty much anything. Yeah.
That's sort of fine. I feel like a lot of people like, you got to go to the gym, you got to lift weights. Or if you're a female, you definitely got to go to the gym and lift weights. Like, I mean, I've dabbled on and off with yoga, but weights has always been my consistent thing. Yeah. Whereas you seems like you're the opposite. You've dabbled with weights, but yoga's been your staple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that if you want to play tennis or you like playing golf, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever you like. Yeah, like my husband loves pickleball. He's obsessed.
Oh, really? So where does he play that at?
He plays it at like local parks. They have like all these...
It's getting pretty popular, right? Yeah. I think Sunset they're building soon.
Yep, like they have like a huge place there.
Yeah, I drove past it today and I was like, I think that's pickleball coming.
I had never heard of this activity before a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you get out of the house.
Whatever it is, yeah. Because some people like to run. Like I hate running, so I'm never going to be out there running.
Amen. I'm not built to run.
Yeah, no, it hurts my knees. Like I can't do it.
I feel like if you don't grow up running, it's very hard to get into running.
Yep.
I'm 220, and if I run, I'm like a baby elephant.
It feels like...
I feel like I'm going to fall through the ground. With the meditation, what got you into it? What have you got out of it?
So I don't even know how I got into it. I think just getting more into health and stuff. It kept coming up. I kept hearing podcasts about it constantly. I'm like, maybe I should try it. It
seems to keep popping out, doesn't it?
Yeah, everywhere.
When you're in that realm.
Yep. It's like everywhere. You just keep hearing it on the radio and stuff. And at first I'm like, it just sounds like bullshit. Like you just sit there.
I appreciate your honesty though. I like how honest you've been about it.
Yeah, like I'm just like, what could that really do? Like, but then finally I started doing like little guided ones on, I don't know if it was Spotify or YouTube or whatever.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. And I just kept doing it more and more and more. And I mean, I try to do it every day. Sometimes I get bad for a couple days, but it helps so much. I've noticed a huge difference.
What have you noticed?
My stress level has gone way down.
Are you a stressed person though?
Yeah.
You are?
Super stressed, yeah.
Is it self-inflicted stress or is it...
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like you're finding a way to deal with it.
Yeah, I feel like I put it on myself. Like I worry about everything.
Do you really?
Yeah.
But that goes back to the anxiety and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you, as far as getting started, was it 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day?
Yeah, I just started with like 5-minute ones, 10 minutes, and then I slowly worked up. I mean, I don't do, some people I hear, they do 2 hours. I've never gotten that big.
Oh, really?
I'll do like 30, I get up to like 30 minutes or an hour, but an hour is pushing it.
How do you do it?
How often?
Oh, no, how do you, like, where do you do it? Do you do it at night, morning? Have you got a room? I usually do it in the morning or sometimes in the afternoon, but I'll usually either do it like on my couch or like laying on the ground or in bed. I know they say to sit up, but I don't always sit up. I lay down a lot. Yeah, like I know how I'm doing it, but I'm trying to learn like the right way or the best way to do it. There's a right way. And some people do it like laying on the ground with their legs up. There's so many different ways to do it. Okay. I always like the guided meditations. I don't like to just, because my mind will just go. So you need someone kind of like guiding you through it. And then like, like the breathing and I need like the guided. So I started with the guided. Now I prefer to do it just by yourself? With the music. Okay. And just focus on my breathing. And, which is all you need to do. Yeah. And what is it we're trying to do through meditation? Are we trying to not think? Are we trying to focus on our breathing? I focus on my breathing. I don't worry if like thoughts come in my head. I kind of just let them come and then just let it go and go back to like, because if you focus on your breath, I think it's
it's like something to focus on. So my brain won't go like, think about like, oh, what am I doing later? What am I doing? You know?
See, it's just, so when you say focus on your breath, it's like just the inhale, exhale.
Yeah. Yep. And like how you just, I try to like, it sounds stupid, but like melt into the, whatever you are, like melt into the chair or melt into the floor.
Gotcha. No,
kind of like relax.
I can relate to that. Like kind of like in a cloud or something, right? Sinking into it.
And a lot of times I do it's called like a body scan. You're like, okay, relax your feet. Now relax your ankles, relax your.
Oh, you work your way up. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do that too.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just, even just for personal stuff, like what I do, what I think I should be doing. I mean, I like the fact you say there's no real right or wrong way.
It's just whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and then setting a time that works for you.
Yep. Yeah, and some people want silence and some people want music or some people want guided. I feel like whatever you can stay consistent with.
I never tried silent.
Really? No, yeah, I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, some people like it. I don't really like it. I at least like want music on.
When you first started, did you find your mind just?
Oh yeah. Now it's gotten better, but at first, no, it'd be like constant.
That's I was gonna say you're pretty high. You got a lot of energy. So like I'm very lot more chilled than you. But I found my mind racing like crazy.
Especially because it's like you're not
I couldn't imagine yours. Yours are there.
That's like nonstop.
Is your husband doing it?
Yeah. He does like a little bit. He's not as into it as I am.
Is he into the yoga? Is he into a different side of things?
He's more into like sports, like the pickleball. He's a swimmer. He swam for UNLV. Yeah, he likes more like physical or like weights and stuff like that.
How important do you think is being married and your close environment being someone similar or someone with the same type of goals?
I feel like you have to have the same goals. I think the same morals and like the same like goals need to happen. Like kids and how you want to raise kids and if you want to get married and stuff like that. Like, well, because we're pretty opposite.
But I mean, as far as diet and exercise, you got to be somewhat similar, right?
100%, yeah.
Otherwise, you're either trying to pull him up or he's pulling you down.
Yeah, and we're pretty good about we try to eat healthy. Like we're on the same page.
What's your staple as far as like healthy diet?
Well, I'm trying to do like more protein. I know we both don't get enough protein, which is like one of the biggest things right now. I mean, we're not like crazy healthy. Like we'll do like homemade burgers and like chicken and like tacos. Like I usually am the one to cook. I try to do no processed foods if we can, like no frozen stuff. But I'm not crazy about our diet. Yeah. Like I'm not like vegan or like vegetarian or anything like that.
Just try to have a balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like what you said. Like I feel like if you keep away from processed food, that is probably one of the best things you possibly do.
I think it's just eat real food.
Yeah, my way of saying it's not killed or grown.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not killed or grown, don't eat it.
Yeah, I heard that the other day, if it doesn't have a mother.
I was like,
I mean, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up. That's another way of putting it, right?
Yeah.
And if you can't read the ingredients or it's got 50 ingredients, probably shouldn't. If tuna says tuna, it's probably okay.
Yep.
But I mean, to what level?
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, keep away from the processed foods.
Because it's like the middle of the grocery store. Pretty much just stay away from there.
Yeah.
Because that's all like the processed crap.
Yeah, your meat, your vegetables, and I guess your breads.
Yeah.
But nah.
Which you have bread. I mean, some people, bread's a weird one, right? Some people hate it. Some people like it.
That's an argument itself, right?
Yeah. And gluten. Yeah, that's like an argument.
Doing the meditation, teaching the meditation. How's that going? And how long have you been teaching for?
So I just got my little certification this year. So less than 6 months I've been teaching.
Okay.
So super new. It's been good. I mean, it's been a little I'm just figuring out what I'm doing still,
Yeah.
And figure out the whole Instagram and website thing.
Oh, as far as promoting yourself.
Yeah.
How does it work as a teacher? Have you got to get hired for classes or you build your own classes?
It's whatever you really want to do. Like if you want to teach at a studio, I'm doing the more private route, like one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do a mix. Some people do both.
So you're basically building your own business now.
Yes.
You're doing private. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to build awareness.
Yep.
Gotcha. What are you doing as far as that?
I've just been doing Instagram so far. I kind of finished my website very recently, like a couple months ago, which I just did it myself.
Yeah.
I didn't hire anyone or anything. But I'm still new. Like still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, have you had a business before?
No, this is my first.
Yeah, it's a whole different animal. It's like figuring it out.
Yeah.
I always tell people 95% of what I do is marketing myself.
Really?
5% is actually, because I do photos and video, 5% is actually shooting.
Really?
95% of the time is getting the work.
Yeah.
And I wish it was.
Getting your name out there.
I wish it was 95% shooting, but it is what it is.
Yep, that's the nature. And then Instagram now is like how you do it, right? And online.
Yeah,
and
don't just get stuck on Instagram though. TikTok.
I have not gotten a TikTok.
Yeah, you need to be I was literally having this conversation earlier. You need to be present on all.
Yeah.
If you're making content, distribute it everywhere, because you never know who's watching.
That's true.
You might get 5 views here, but you might get 500 here. You might get 5,000 here, or you might get none on all of it. It's very frustrating.
I know. Yeah, there's like YouTube, Twitter. There's so many.
And I think another thing, a lot of people like, it's the relatability. It's being what's the word? It's like sharing your story. Like why are you passionate about what you do? Why has it helped you? And sharing that to other people.
Yeah.
Because other people will resonate with that. And they resonate with that, then they'll connect with you. They're more likely to use you, think of you, hire you, opposed to everybody else.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's what I do. Like I want to hire someone I like. I don't want to, if they're the best, but they're an asshole, I'm not going to hire them. Like,
or you might have some type of similar story or relatability, or you'll connect on a certain level.
Yeah.
I mean, even this podcast, I'm probably more likely to get people similar to myself who come on the podcast because they see who I am, what I'm like, and they're going to connect with me. And someone else is like, nah, it's not really my gel. And it's not a personal thing. I'm not going to take it personally.
Yeah.
But I mean, it happens with everything, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So what else can you tell me as far as fitness, mindset? How's your mindset? Is it positive? Do you doubt yourself?
I mean, I feel like I'm like both. Sometimes I'm like, I'm amazing. This is the best, and sometimes like, no, I'm a piece of shit.
Do you do affirmations or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, I kind of started to do that this year, which that's another thing. I'm like, that's stupid. But now it's like, yeah, you do the little affirmations. I don't do them in the mirror or anything like that.
I had a lady the other day. She's like, I do mirror affirmations.
Yeah.
I was like, how cool is that?
I mean, yeah, it's a good idea.
That's going to be very uncomfortable at first.
I know, right? Like, I am amazing.
But I mean, it's a good honor for doing it.
Right?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I was like, can I do that? I mean, I could if I wanted to.
Yeah, you can make yourself do it. But I think it's helpful. You're like, I am powerful. And some of the meditations have a lot of affirmations in them that I listen to.
Oh, do they? It's hard to be open and real with yourself, right? Because you're always worrying what someone else is going to think, even though no one else knows about it.
Yep.
Or you always worry if someone sees or someone hears, or
and you feel like stupid almost.
It's kind of like I've been journaling lately, and I want to be as open as I can in my journal, but also I don't want someone picking up my journal and flicking through it, or me leaving it at the coffee shop for all to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm holding back, but I'm like, how do I get past this?
I feel like you just have to force yourself.
Because I feel like the more honest you are, the more growth and benefit you're going to get from it.
Because if you're not really being honest, it's bullshit then, right?
Yeah, or if you're only giving 80%, I feel like that 20% is probably the most important stuff.
Yeah, it's usually like when you really push yourself, it's most important.
Yeah, so your affirmations being like, the more real you can be with those, the more benefits you're going to get from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like we're thinking about starting a family. So it's like fertility affirmations. I'm like, oh, my body is healthy, like stuff like that. You could do that even if you're not trying to get pregnant.
That's good. Yeah, see that's makes you feel uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, like it feels weird saying it, but
this is my personal belief, but I feel like the healthier you are, the more likely you are to be fertile, have babies, have a healthy baby and survive.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't want to be the person to come out publicly and say that.
I mean, it's like, of course, there's infertility issues that there's nothing you could do, but a lot of it is like, reduce your stress, eat healthy, like medications. A lot of medications will mess with your fertility and
set your body up healthy so it functions well, but then it can reproduce well, right?
Yes, yeah.
And it's like I said, I don't want to be the person to say that, but I think it's true.
I think it's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're like overweight or if you're underweight, that can even affect your fertility.
Yeah, and I mean the chance of the baby surviving, like first trimester, all that bad stuff that happens, it's probably got a lot to do with a lot of other factors.
Yeah, and infertility keeps going up. Like, I mean, I think it's partly our diet, definitely medications and I think it's partly the water too. Like we don't have good water in this country, and like all the like you just keep hearing about like the microplastics in the water and all that. Like I'm sure that has all an effect too.
It's kind of America's a scary place.
It's kind of crazy.
There's a book called Salt, Sugar, Fat I just read. It's about the big food industries over the years and what they did and how they make profit. And
how they pay the government to change the food pyramid.
It's really disgusting.
It's scary. When you look at the history of like big pharma and like all that, it's crazy.
It's really scary. And most of us have no idea what's going on. And one thing I got out of that book, now everything I pick up, I check the sugar. Yeah. That's probably one of the main things I go for now.
You know, they went on this like war against salt. I don't think salt's the enemy. I think it's sugar.
I mean, salt's fine.
Yeah,
it's
right?
What type of salt?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, of course, you don't want to be like drowning in it, but.
Yeah, I mean, salt is the most, to me, it's the second most important thing your body needs. Yeah. When you fast, you have salt in your water. But is it table salt or is it Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt? That stuff's amazing for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So good for you.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I do that. I do like lemon water and then with salt.
Yeah.
Salt.
Yeah, if you're lacking energy or you're not hydrated, that is the best and quickest way to change it.
And most people are always dehydrated because they don't drink enough water, you know.
Yeah, and then you're taking the wrong salts, which is making you
like the table salt. And,
yeah. What can you... From sugar, what can you tell me from sugar, what you're seeing in the pharmacy?
I mean, I feel like sugar is almost like crack. Like it's just,
it's a drug, right?
Yeah. Like,
and it's an addiction.
And like when you give like little kids like sodas and sugar, like they go crazy because it's like almost like a crack for them.
Yeah. Do you know how many grams the average American's having per day right now?
No, I'm sure it's crazy.
22 grams of added sugar per day.
That's crazy.
It used to be 6 per week.
That's insane.
Guess how many times we eat on a daily basis now? Like we're snacking. How many times we put food on our mouth?
I would say more than 6, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 17 or something. So
17?
We went from having 6 grams of sugar, of added sugar per week, 3 square meals, to now having 17 snacks throughout the day with 22 grams of added sugar.
That's crazy.
And now 60% of us are obese.
Yeah, I think constant snacking is bad too.
Well, it's that constant insulin spikes, right?
Yeah, because your body doesn't have
which leads to what?
Diabetes.
Diabetes, right?
Yep.
So, and that's, how many diabetics? Are you seeing a lot of diabetics coming in?
Like when I was at the pharmacy at our nursing homes, I would say 80% had diabetes.
Oh, really?
Type 2, yeah.
Wow.
It was like insane.
Really?
And I mean, like, of course, they're there because they're unhealthy. So it's like, I'm more biased, I guess, but still.
That's scary, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's scary. And that's when you're getting, like, you're losing limbs,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
toes.
We had so many patients, they were losing, like, legs, toes, fingers, because they get the gangrene because their sugars are uncontrolled and then they don't take care of it. And it's like a slippery slope kind of thing.
Do you know a lot about diabetes?
I mean, I'm not an expert on it.
But I mean, you understand it a bit.
Oh, yeah.
What do people need to know out there about diabetes that they're maybe missing? Or
I feel like one thing is it is reversible. It's like people think it's just like
just knowing that, right?
Yeah, like they think it's like a death sentence. I'm like, it's like you can reverse it. And you can reverse it with exercise and diet. My ex-girlfriend, her grandma got diagnosed. She was a nurse. She got diagnosed with pre-diabetic. Cut out sugar, dropped 30 pounds. And she's fine now, right?
And she's fine.
Yep. Because I feel like they just jump on the metformin. They jump on the medication bandwagon right away instead of trying to reverse it. It's like I don't want to be mean, but it's laziness.
Yeah, it's laziness that got you there, and it's laziness that's going to keep you there.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on metformin?
I mean, it has its place, but I think it's overprescribed. And now it's like they're pushing it on healthy people for like insulin resistance.
So I actually take metformin now.
Do you?
And the reason is David Sinclair.
Yep.
You know who
I keep hearing about, yep.
He's talking about taking metformin. He takes it, he preaches it. He preaches it for healthy people. So
yeah, I've heard about that a lot.
Yeah, so NMN, resveratrol, and metformin.
Okay, yep.
So NMN and resveratrol are both supplements, but metformin being a drug. He's like, if you can get it, take it. It's like berberine being the natural one and metformin being like the drug version of it. I take it. I've been taking it now for probably 6 to 8 months.
Do you like it?
Yeah. The reason why I didn't want to take it because it was actually a drug and there was a lot of side effects.
Yeah.
But what I learned, if you're healthy, I don't get any side effects.
That's good. Yeah, because some people get the huge like muscle cramps.
Yeah, there's a million different things you can get from it if you're very unhealthy.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm quite healthy. I've been taking metformin and I don't do any other reason besides longevity and what he's preaching.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's like the leading guy in longevity in the world.
Because he wants to live to like 100.
From Harvard. So, I mean, and he's Australian, working out of Harvard. So I'm like, okay, this guy's got a lot of credibility.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about. I'm going to try it out.
Yeah, I haven't looked at his research. I keep hearing about it, but...
Lifespan is his book.
Lifespan, okay.
Yeah, it's a really good book. And he's got a lot of content out on YouTube, things like that. He's always talking publicly about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the guy's like 55. He looks like...
He looks really good, right?
He looks like he's 35, 40.
Yeah.
And then you had his dad who was very unhealthy, very lazy. He started taking these drugs. Oh my God. He's like changed his complete life.
That's good.
So I was just wondering what your thought was. But if you're taking metformin and you're overweight and unhealthy, focus on that more than others.
Yes, yeah.
Is there anything you think we should be taking or could be taking? Or you think just get back to the base of...
I think everyone needs vitamins for the most part because our food supply doesn't have the vitamins it used to. It's like I think everyone needs magnesium because like pretty much everyone is deficient in that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, melatonin, no, because that's a hormone. I always tell everyone don't take that because they used to say it's safe, but it kind of messes up your normal hormones.
Gotcha. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. What else is good? It's mostly just get back to like the healthy, like real food, and I mean you can supplement if you need to, but I don't think. Yeah.
I always say like go back a couple hundred years what we used to eat, and probably that's what we should eat now.
Yeah.
But like you said, like we're lacking like food's dug up so many times. We're not even getting the nutrients
like the
from
topsoil.
Yeah, you're not even getting the soil benefits from like. So it's just like, and then food. You watch fooding shows like that. It's disgusting.
Yep.
So I mean, do the best with what you've got.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like magnesium is the one I take every day.
Is there do you feel like it's an excuse that I can't afford to eat healthy because it's more expensive? Do you think it's an excuse or you think it's valid?
I mean, I feel like it is maybe a little bit more expensive, especially to buy organic stuff, but I think you can do it. Like I like because the processed stuff is kind of expensive too, like the chips and cookies and.
But what is organic, right? There's not just when we were kids. There's no such thing as
I know,
organic.
and
it was just real food.
I hear it's kind of scammy too. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about
the different levels how they govern it, and when you actually read into it, like cage-free eggs.
Oh,
if you actually research what that means, it doesn't really mean.
They're not running around in a pasture.
No, it doesn't really mean a lot. It's so messed up.
Yeah.
You've literally got to research every single thing to find out what that actually means.
Yep.
This book talked about like the sugar, salt, fat. It talked about they'll have a cereal, but they say high in fiber, and that one thing is supposed to mask all the crap
sugar.
behind. So they'll find one thing that they can like use to market with to mask everything else.
Because they don't want you to know all the sugar and all the other crap.
It's so scary.
Yeah, because cereal's really not good for you.
We made a video the other day. It's like, what's the difference between cereal and candy?
Not much, right?
If I gave you the two food labels and you didn't know what the product was, could you tell the difference?
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just sugar, it's just processed.
Like food dyes, right? And all that crap.
Yeah, if I gave you like Fruit Loops and I gave you Skittles, it's probably going to be pretty damn the same thing.
I bet you, yeah.
And you're not kind of any idea.
And people think it's like a healthy option to give their kids even.
But breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And do you ever do fasting, intermittent fasting?
I do a little bit.
How do you do it?
So I'm not crazy. Like if I start to feel like a little woozy or, because I'll get like a little like nauseous if I don't eat for a long time, I'll have a little snack. So I'm not like, I won't go 12 hours really. But I feel like it made a huge difference when I did it a lot when I was working a lot too. Yeah. Because it made it easier and it gave me more energy too.
It 100% gives you more energy.
Yeah, which is, you wouldn't think it would.
If you don't eat, it's bad.
Yeah.
And that's, unfortunately, everyone's so caught up in the marketing because I eat once a day. I eat 3 to 4 times less than I've ever eaten in my entire life, and I feel better, I function better, I stay skinnier. But it's starving yourself.
I know, because
it's bad for you.
It was like a big marketing thing where they're like, you got to eat every couple hours because you got to keep your metabolism up.
And
that's all bullshit.
If you're selling food, what would you do? I'd be telling people to eat all
day. Eat every hour.
So you got to, and that's the thing, like, they say human beings have been around for 100,000 generations. Industrial agriculture's been around for 600 agriculture's been around for 600 generations. Industrial agriculture has been around for like 8 generations. So basically meaning that we used to feed and fast for the whole human being existence. And then, hey, the last 100 years, 200 years, if you don't eat breakfast, you're not going to be able to function. If you don't have your Fruit Loops for breakfast, you're not going to have a constructive day, productive day. And
you'll gain weight, they would say, your metabolism's going to slow down.
If you're not constantly eating every 2.5 hours. I used to do the same thing. I used to eat 6 to 12 meals a day. Big ass meals. Now I eat once a day.
Yeah. I know. The portions are insane. We go to restaurants, I'm like, this is for like 3 people for one person. Like, that's insane.
I posted a video last night about it. The difference between Australia and America, the portion size are insane.
It's so gross. It like grosses me out.
Yeah. And then just like soda, right? Soda being, I would say soda being the number one cause of everything in this country.
Because it's literally just pure sugar.
Australia, we don't have free refills on the soda.
Okay.
But guess what? You had no idea about that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You just presumed that's normal for everybody.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's funny.
It's nuts, right?
Why do you need a refill when it's this big?
Well, it's because you're drinking soda and it's not replenishing you.
Yeah,
and
you're not
addictive.
Getting hydrated.
Yeah, you're not getting hydrated, so therefore you keep drinking.
It's like the drug. It's like you need more and more.
I think it's to say it's the number one cause of obesity in this country is soda.
I could see that.
And I like what you said is like just cutting one soda back a day.
Yeah.
Is a good starting point.
Yeah, I don't think you should go. I think if you go too much too fast, you freak out and you can't do it. Like you gotta go slow. Like reduce it by like 1 soda or whatever it is.
Yeah, if it took you 10 years, 20 years to put the weight on, you need a set of plan and you need to change your lifestyle.
And it's for life,
and it's not a diet.
No. I think people need to stop thinking of it as a temporary thing. Like this is forever.
Because that's when you get the rebound effect, right? Yeah, I mean, if it's got to be sustainable.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of us, I don't know if you've been through that where you've dropped weight. I don't know if you ever put weight on, but a lot of us, it's like you lose weight and then you put it back on because you haven't changed your lifestyle. You haven't built something sustainable.
Or you like put even more on sometimes.
Yeah, right? Yeah. The big rebound effect, right? You got to build something that's maintainable for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And that is a personal journey for you and you only.
Yeah.
And what for me right now, it's fasting, and that's what works for me. Even right now, I'm doing keto because I want to drop a little bit of weight quicker. But it's having those tools in your tool belt to implement when you want to.
Yeah.
Is that right for you? Probably not. Does it work for me? Yes. And that's all
I feel
like
everyone's different. Like you need to figure out what works for you. Because like what my husband would do wouldn't really work for me. Like our builds are different. Like he's 6 feet, I'm 5 feet.
Yeah, energy requirements are different.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, he needs to eat more than I do.
Yeah, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And men and women, I feel like, are so different too. Like we have different needs.
But also, you're both human beings. So I get what you're saying, but I feel like there's a lot of like, oh, I can't go to the gym and lift weights because I'm a female. Well, no, we're both built the same.
Yeah. I know, because girls think they're going to get like
and strong fit women are strong fit women. It's nice to be able to open a jar by yourself or pick something up by yourself and not be dependent on a guy.
Oh, yeah.
So, and there's nothing wrong. I mean, for you to get buff, it would take
a lot.
A lot.
I feel like it would take almost steroids. Like
it would take steroids and it would take a long time.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight.
No. Like the growth hormones and all that. Like
I sat here and talked to a girl who deadlifts like 400 or 500 pounds and she's the same size as you.
Really? Oh my God.
She just shakes hands like a bear. So I mean,
yeah, I'm never gonna be there.
Yeah, so it's
so that takes so much dedication, like to get like that.
That's the thing, right? You need to, and if you get off track, all of a sudden you start losing the muscle.
Yep.
It's like I've been lifting weights for 25 years now, 5 days a week for 25 years, and I'm still only the size I'm at.
Yeah.
If you want to get that next step, probably take a bunch of gear and a bunch of growth, and I can probably get big, but I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
okay.
like you don't need to look like that either. Like
no, and I mean, if you want to, go nuts, but understand there is consequences with whatever decision you take.
And like, if you go the bodybuilder route, I mean, they're not healthy. A lot of them are
I think
doing drugs.
I think bodybuilding is the most unhealthy thing around.
You hear about them just like dropping dead too, or like heart attacks, or.
I think bodybuilding has been amazing for education as far as diet, nutrition, macros, things like that. I think the competing side of it is really bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because it's like they just want to win no matter the cost.
That's the thing. When I studied personal training, there was a teacher there. He goes, there was a study done years ago. And they said, if you could take a drug which would guarantee you to win the Olympics, but you could drop dead in 5 years, would you take it? And I think he said like 80% of the people would take that drug.
Wow.
Because they've got a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
It's all about winning and not about the consequence.
And they want the title.
And I mean, that's just probably what makes those high elite level people the way they are. But for the regular people like you and I, it's like, I want to see my kids grow
like
up.
that's not worth it to me.
I want to be doing stuff when I'm 70. I'm not worried about my name going in history for being a bodybuilder 50 years ago.
I don't care. Like, who's Ronnie Coleman, right? He's in a wheelchair.
But Jay Cutler looks amazing. And they compete at the exact same time.
It's crazy.
So that's the perfect example. You got Ronnie Coleman, who's literally, he's amazing. Like,
he was like the best, right?
But Jay Cutler beat him. Yeah. Jay Cutler's walking around.
Doesn't he live here too?
Yeah, he lives in town. He goes to the gym. He still looks great, and he's functioning well. And then
did they do different paths? Because I know Ronnie
lifted extremely, extremely heavy. Jay played it smart.
Yeah, that's
trained smart, played it smart.
I feel like that's the way to go.
And I mean, who was to know? But I feel like that lesson happened then is a good lesson for a lot of people lifting now. Like, hey, yeah, it's cool to deadlift 800 pounds, but is it going to be bad consequences?
Yeah, is it worth it?
And when you look at these two, it's like night and day difference.
Yeah, I know he acts like an old man, and he
hasn't got a choice, right? Like I watched the documentary on the amount of surgeries he's had.
Yeah, I know, I saw that too.
It's really upsetting
because they fused his whole spine, right?
Yeah, it's really upsetting, and it's like he did so much for so many people. Like he's so famous, but then so is Jay. Jay's done just as much good, and like this channel, if I could preach anything, it's longevity, and Jay's the perfect example of that.
Yeah, because I'd rather live. I want to be like, I don't want to live to 100 if I'm in a wheelchair and in a bed.
Not waiting to die, right?
That's horrible.
We preach that a lot. It's like the quality of life. It's not how long you live. It's like how long do you have the quality of life.
I think that's so much more important, quality of life.
It's everything, right?
Yeah. Because who cares if like your life is horrible and you're in a hospital bed?
Touching on longevity, I feel like yoga, meditation is a huge part of longevity.
Yeah.
What's from what you've seen, people come to the pharmacy, what people are doing, aren't doing, things that you do. What do you think gives us long quality of life?
I think just staying active, like finding something where you're moving every day.
Don't use it, you lose it type thing.
Because I think most of us now have sit-down jobs. You're just sitting for 8, 10, 12 hours a day.
And then sitting in a car to get to that job.
And you're not really like moving around. Like most people aren't getting their steps in, you know? Like I think moving more is super important. And then eating right, but I think that's
What do you think? So most people are just going wrong, just not using stuff.
Yeah, I think most people are sedentary. And like you get home from work, you're tired, you watch Netflix or whatever, you watch a movie, you just sit there, you know, most people aren't going to the gym after work or before work.
Yeah, and I mean, if you've got kids and you're working a full-time job, it is harder. Yeah. But I know what else is harder is getting old and being 40 and feel like you're 60. I mean, like I said, I'm 43. There's people my age who are 60, 65. It's I can still do everything I did when I'm 20. Yeah. And I don't mean in a bragging way. I just mean taking the right decisions over a long period of time can take you two different directions.
Yeah, like in the nursing home, like we would have patients that were like 50. Like they acted like they were like 85 just because of they're obese and it was crazy. I'm like, you're not that old.
I watched a documentary. It was a New Zealand documentary on diabetes, and this lady shows, for the last 20 years I've been a diabetic, and she was my age.
Oh my God.
And she was my age.
So she got diabetic at like 20 something?
Yeah, she was my age. I was like, she's been suffering for 20 years while being out running around, going to the gym, enjoying my life.
And most of it's lifestyle. I mean, of course, there's always exceptions. Of
course. She straight up said, I just ate too much sugar. I was addicted to sugar. She didn't lie about it. She didn't fluff about it. Yeah. But she knew that she put herself there. It's like, I always say, like, we're all adults. We know what's good for us and we know what's bad for us. Can you make it important enough to take action? That's all there is to it, right?
I think people don't have like personal responsibility. Like it's like they want to blame someone else.
Yeah, you got to take accountability. And as soon as you take accountability for your life, the sooner you can change it.
Yeah.
Whether that's financial, whether that's physical, that's your health.
Mentally, anything,
whatever it is, right? You can blame the finger. You can point the finger, blame other people, make excuses. But excuses just give you more excuses.
Yep.
It don't make any change.
Yeah.
My parents didn't teach me how to eat right. But guess what? Like you said, you got YouTube. Teach everything you want to know.
Like my parents don't teach me.
I don't know how to go to the gym. Well, guess what? YouTube will teach you.
YouTube is amazing. I think the internet, like you can learn.
Well, maybe I can get a yoga instructor to come around my house and teach me whatever
like
it is.
There's like online.
Oh, I don't have money. Okay, it was online for free.
Like there's really. There's no excuse.
I hate talking to people who just give excuse after excuse after excuse.
Like, well, I'm busy.
It's never been easier. When I started going to the gym, there wasn't YouTube.
Yeah.
I was looking at bodybuilding magazines and whatever I could find. I would walk up to the guy at the gym who was in better shape than me and ask him questions. And that's just the way it was.
Yeah, like word of mouth.
But now it's like, think about someone you look up to who inspires you, whether it's a yoga teacher, meditation coach, a person. They're all got content on there, right? And it's all for free.
Yep.
And it just takes you making the effort.
Yeah, you just have to make the effort.
Just make the effort. I'm a vegan and I don't know how to cook anything. Look it up.
Look up a recipe. Yeah,
I don't know how to start a business. What is Google for?
Exactly.
Yeah. Just before we finish up, anything else you want to touch on?
I can't think of anything else.
So we're talking using your body before you lose it, making it important enough to eat right, and then just like your food is medicine, correct?
Yeah.
So being a pharmacist, seeing how many people are taking a ridiculous amount of drugs that they probably don't need to be taking. I would say don't need to be taking. Probably not. Probably not even doubting that.
Yeah.
Most of us are heading towards being a diabetic. Dave Sinclair says most of us are pre-diabetic already.
Oh yeah, I bet,
we don't even realize.
Yeah, because most people don't get blood work every year.
Yeah. He goes, he actually said there's not much. He goes, there's not really anything between a pre-diabetic and a diabetic. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Because you just have to be pre-diabetic for a little bit usually.
Yeah. And then what you're saying is like, if you are type 2 diabetic, you don't need to stay there.
No.
That is not now your life. That is not now your identity. You can actually change that, but only you can change that.
Yeah, like no one's coming to save you. Like you have to do it.
I think you need to understand that your spouse, your partner, your kids, nobody can do that.
Because they can't work out for you.
Yeah, and they can't stop you from putting things in your mouth, right?
Yeah.
Only you can make that decision. And it's just like, what is your why? What makes this important to you where you make it a priority to stay healthy?
I feel like I just want to, I want to feel good. I don't want to feel like crap every day. And like my sleep has gotten so much better too. Before I was sleeping 2 to 3 hours a night. It was really bad.
What was causing that?
It was mostly stress from my job. And I was on call a lot and just anxiety. But when I really started meditating and relaxing more, it's gotten so much better.
Gotcha. Do you think it's important to do what you enjoy for a living? Like you're a pharmacist, but you're trying to get into something different. Are you happy to transition into that and get away from being a pharmacist as soon as you can?
I'm going to keep my license, but I think I'm going to try and transition away a little bit.
And that's just because you enjoy doing the other side of things, right?
Like I can help people more that way. I don't feel like I'm helping anyone as a pharmacist. I feel like I'm just like slapping a Band-Aid every month. Like, here's your drugs again. Here you go. Just
getting paid to give out Band-Aids.
Yeah, it's like
where you can get to the core, the basic things.
I don't like the feeling of it.
I like that. Yeah.
I think like sleep, is huge too. Like we don't really talk about sleep enough, and everyone's on like Xanaxes and Ambiens and we really shouldn't be on all that.
But then you can also argue too where people are lacking energy because they get bad sleep, they're lacking energy. So it's coffee, energy drinks, stimulants, Adderall.
And then you can't sleep because you're on Adderall and caffeine.
And you end up in this
it's like a hamster wheel.
Yeah, hamster wheel is a good way of putting it. Yeah. I've got an Oura ring that tracks my sleep. It's been amazing.
Really?
I know.
I keep hearing about those.
Yeah, I mean, I know how long I'm in bed for, how long I've slept for.
Yeah. And it tells if you're getting into like the deep sleep.
Yeah, it tells
right?
me what levels of sleep I was in for for how long. And my REM sleep is always in the red. It's the only thing in the whole damn app. My activity, my readiness, my sleep, the only thing which is red every single day is my REM sleep. It's just not quite, it's like 45 minutes. It's supposed to be like an hour and a half. So I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just can't get that one in the green. But I'm aware of it.
I mean,
and just being aware of it is probably priceless in itself.
And maybe just try and maybe do some meditations at night.
I do meditation every night now.
You do? Oh, okay.
So I'm still not there, but I mean,
I feel like
it's something to work towards, right?
Yeah, and it takes time. Like I think it always takes longer than you think it's going to.
It gave me my tracking today. It was like for the year. I've only had it like 6 months, but it gave me like, and it's like you go to bed at this time, you get up at this time, you average, I think it's like 8.5 hours of sleep a night. I was like, oh,
that's pretty good.
I mean, pretty damn good sign.
Yeah, they say like 7 to 9.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was good just to have that bit of data.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's important for the rest of your life if you're able to collect that data, why not, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's good. Like when I think my doctors hate me if I go to the doctor and I'm like, oh yeah, my body temperature went up here and this is happening here. And I got all this data from this damn ring.
And he's like, we're like, what is this?
They're like, what is this stupid ring? Like, you don't realize how important this is.
Yeah. And like, doctors aren't taught that kind of stuff. Like they're taught, like, they really are taught symptom pill. Like what can you give to treat this or mask this? Like they're not taught like nutrition or any of that. They might get one class.
Oh, if you hurt your arm, don't train, but just rest.
Yeah. Or surgery. Like they always push for like surgery.
Surgery, right? Yeah.
Even if you can fix it with like rehab, but they don't make as much money doing that.
Yeah, and I always say I wouldn't go to a fat personal trainer. I wouldn't go to a broke financial planner. But unfortunately, there's not buff, healthy doctors walking around everywhere.
No.
So you don't really have a lot of choice.
Yep.
And when you do need to go to a doctor, generally it's like you got an infection or you got something serious where
you don't have time to
requires immediate. It requires something immediate.
Yep.
I mean, the only time I've ever gone to the doctor the last 6 or 7 years is when I've had like an infection or something outside of the norm where it requires serious medical condition.
Yeah, because a physical doesn't really tell you much. Like they're kind of bullshit.
No.
Like you don't need to go to a physical every year. Right?
So yeah, I think what we're trying to touch on is just take accountability, take responsibility for yourself. Yeah. Realizing that you can dictate your health.
Yes. That you are the only one responsible for it.
Yeah. Understanding that your health is your wealth and you make all the money in the world, but once you lose your health, you're not.
What if you have a heart attack at 45?
Yeah.
Like you have a stroke. Like your life's done. Or, I mean, it could be.
That's the thing I just watched. It was Christopher Columbus. I was watching a documentary on him and he wanted to be rich and famous. And he did all these like travels from like Portugal to America. And by the time he got rich, he lost his health and he died a year later.
So it's like, what was the point?
The whole thing was pointless.
Yeah, like he didn't even get to like bask in that like.
He did all these things and
he just dies.
Did all these crappy things, made the money by doing crappy things to other people.
Being bad person, kind of.
Being an awful person and then ended up dying rich.
Maybe it's karma, maybe.
So did nothing.
That's crazy.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Very pleasure meeting you.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.